guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is gonna be quite a chit-chatty video. I am going to talk about things to know before traveling to Poland. So for those who are going, I think generally like in Europe, the things I'm gonna mention are probably going to be very helpful if you're going to Europe. And yeah, I feel like a lot of things that I'm gonna mention are going to be kind of similar throughout the Europe. So if you are living in, I don't know, North America, South America, Australia, any other continent than Europe, you might find this video very helpful. Alright guys, don't mind me if I'm gonna be a little bit all over the place because I have my notes in here and I'm sure I forgot many things, but yeah, if I jump all over the place, don't mind me because I'm just gonna go how I wrote things. So the first thing I mentioned before, do not expect, especially if you're traveling to Poland in the summer, and now summers are getting very hot in Poland, don't expect to get an ice in your drinks. Many also times if you order water, they will bring you like a room temperature water, and you just have to ask for ice every single time you want ice in your glass. And if you do ask for ice, don't expect them to bring you a tons of ice. You're gonna get like maybe a 5 or 4 cubes in the little container they'll just bring you. So yeah, basically be prepared to ask for ice everywhere you go if you like ice, obviously, in your drinks. And if you're coming from America, you know what I mean. Okay, also keep in mind, because like I mentioned, Poland now gets very hot during the summer. It wouldn't be like extremely hot temperatures for like a long period of time, but it can be, let's say, in the upper 80s for like a week. And unfortunately, that's very hot. So if you are living, let's say, renting an apartment like we did I think we were only on the 4th floor, and it was so hot, you guys. Those, room fans, it was just not cutting. And if I'm trying to do my makeup, I mean, literally everything is just melting off your face. So just keep in mind that you're renting something, try to ask or look for the apartment with the AC, especially if you're going during the summer. Other months will be fine, but the summer months are really, really hot. It's just not comfortable, and not all the apartments are equipped with the AC. The one we rented also through the Airbnb in Poznan for 3 nights, it was very modern apartment and had the AC, and it was just such a lifesaver. If you're going to be living in the hotel, double check if your hotel has AC. The newest hotels and the more expensive hotels will have the AC, but not all of them will have a very well working AC. For example, my brother and I, we stayed with our families in a very fancy hotel. I forgot the name of it. It was in Krakow, in the suburbs of Krakow. Brand new hotel, four-star hotel. You walk, you can feel there is an AC. So let's say in the lobby was pretty cool. When you got to the rooms, it was hot. So I was trying to adjust the temperature. I was playing with the thermostat. Through the whole night, the thermostat on the AC level went down 1 degree. So I mean, they advertise they have an AC, and then at the end of the day, the AC is barely working. And it's like a brand new 4-star hotel. I mean, it's ridiculous. So just keep that in mind, that sometimes I guess they're just keeping a limit, and they don't let you adjust to the coolest, settings that you just used to. Okay, because most of the, let's say, hotels or even restaurants will not have the AC. What happened when it's hot? They open the windows. What happened if you open the windows and you're serving food? All the insects are coming in. So this was something that it was just driving us nuts. So you're trying to eat and you have a flies, or you have suddenly a hornet, or I don't know, something. It was just so annoying, you guys. My kids were like paranoid And you know, living in Poland, I mean, I lived there for 20 years of my life, and you kind of get used to, you know, it's like it seems like it's normal. But me coming, you know, after so many years living in here, it's just not normal anymore, you know, and I don't want to fight with the fly or the hornet around my food. So, and I'm talking about like a normal restaurant, you know, I'm not talking a restaurant in the middle of the fancy hotel, you know, that would be a different story. But like a normal casual restaurants that you would go to, most of them don't have AC, and just expect a lot of flies. Another thing that still happens in Poland, but not as much as it used to be, but you have to pay for using a bathroom, basically. We were still kind of shocked, you know, at few occasions we had to end up paying for using a restroom in the public place. And I don't know, I have no explanation for this. I think it's ridiculous because you're sitting and eating in the restaurant, and there's still a lady who's charging you money. I think it was like €0.5 or 2 zloty, whatever, you know. I don't know, it was just, I just find this really funny. And by the way, the restrooms are marked a WC in Poland, and I think it's like in all over the Europe. So if you see a WC, because my kids, for example, they didn't know, you know, my son came and he was like, I cannot find a restroom, and I didn't realize that he doesn't know that WC is a restroom. So WC means a water closet, basically. It's from English, I don't know why, but water closets, look for water closets all over the Europe. That's how they marked. And sometimes they would put like a circle and a triangle. So the circles is for the girls, triangle is for the boys. So yeah. If you are going to rent a car in Poland, be prepared to pay a lot of money for gas. So we rented the car for 3 weeks, and every single time, and it was a small car. It was some kind of a Kia, very small car, nothing major. It was a 5-door. The trunk, you know, was also opening with the like a window. So but it was generally, I'm gonna say it is a small car, because I'm driving Toyota Highlander, which to me it's a big SUV. So the one we got in Poland, it was small car, and every time I fill it, you know, the gas, I had to fill the gas up. It was $80, which it was just mind-blowing, because me driving, you know, big car Toyota Highlander, I paid roughly about, I'm gonna say $30 to fill up the full tank, to fill up the full tank. And in Poland, for the full tank, I had to pay roughly $80. Another thing that did bother us a lot, since we travel by car quite a bit, it was the lack of food, like on the roads. Like, you know, they will have a gas station that you can buy a hot dog, you know, or something, but if you really want to stop by like in a restaurant or something, it was really difficult to find anything. I literally, at some point, I have to like text my sister, and I ask her like, is there anything? We are here and here, like you just keep driving and driving and there's just no restaurants. You know, we were all hungry, and yeah, just keep that in mind. You have to really go into the town or into the city, because there's really no like restaurant when you travel, you know. It's very annoying. Okay, if you go to do any sightseeing, and you know, especially if you are with the children, and children wants to go to the, you know, to the shops at the end. Let's say if you get off the one of the castles, and they will have like, you know, a castle shop with all the little goodies, and you can buy like, you know, some, you know, like for kids, stuff for kids that will have in the, you know, baskets on the floor. So my kids, you know, they just go for it, you know. They try to grab everything and check things out, you know, like a curious child. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. Do not do that. Do not touch the merchandise. They will have like those posters, which I mean, that made me laugh. It says that the merchandise can only be handled by the salesperson. So many times my kids were pretty much yelled at by the, you know, the salesperson, that they are not polite, and they are touching everything. So Yes. Do not touch anything. If you are staying in the city and if you're not taking like a public transportation, and let's say if you want to use your Uber app, which is pretty easy, we were using Bolt, B-O-L-T, and it was pretty, I'm gonna say, pretty cheap. I think it's even much cheaper than the Uber app. The only problem is that people who drive those Ubers don't really speak English. So I mean, for me it was not a problem because obviously I speak Polish, but I think as a foreigner you might have a hard time using, you know, that service because many times I feel like, you know, you are supposed to wait for them at a certain spot and you are there and they are on the other side of the building. So I'm gonna say 9 out of 10 times I had to call them to try to find them. So if you don't really speak Polish, you might have a little hard time. It's always also because many of those drivers are from Ukraine or former like Soviet Union countries, and they barely speak any Polish, you know, so I even had sometimes a hard time understanding what they were saying. Yeah, and I've learned also many of them are like kind of illegal immigrants, so it's fine. I mean, you know, they can obviously drive, but sometimes it's a little hassle, you know, to get, you know, like talking to them because, you know, many of them just kind of work, you know, on someone else's car. They're using someone else's car just to make money. When you go to the, you know, typical everyday restaurants in Poland, keep in mind that people are very serious. I feel like they are very formal and they should just relax a little bit and just take it easy. And I feel like they're just very tense, you know, that I feel like there's very tense kind of a situation happening there. Not all of them, not all of the restaurants, but just keep in mind that occasionally you can still come across, you know, some, you know, service that is just going to be very kind of formal, very tense, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel comfortable this way. So also be prepared. If you go to let's say like a fast food restaurant, let's say to McDonald's, or by the way, there's a lot of KFCs in Poland. It was just ridiculous. My kids were like never eat in KFC before and they were just like in heaven, you know, like no KFC. But if you do go, and we did go a few times, be prepared to pay for extra condiments. So they give you, if you let's say order French fries, they will give you a 1 packet of ketchup. If you want another packet of ketchup, you're not gonna get it, or you just have to pay for it. So yeah, very annoying because, you know, we used to it. Like in America, if you ask for ketchup, they'll just give you a handful of those ketchup packets, you know. It's like, but not in Poland. Like they give you one and you have to pay for more. Of course, there's gonna be no refills for your soda or even for the water. You have to pay for the water. You're not gonna get a free water in the restaurant. There's no refills, so if you buy a bottle of Coke, if you want another one, you have to pay for another one. The only place that had a refill was the KFC, that you can actually put, you know, drink some more soda if you wanted to. And I didn't see any other place that would offer a free refill, so none of the restaurants will ever give you a free water or free refill, which is just, I don't know, it's just ridiculous. Because at least they shouldn't charge for tap water, you know. They are very formal. They will bring you the water in, you know, glass bottle, and this is all you're gonna get. So yeah, the price for the drinks is also a lot more expensive. So even like paying for a bottle of water, you're gonna pay around $2, or soda, it's pretty much the same price. So it's a lot more money than you pay in here for the same in the restaurant, you know. Usually soda will be maybe $1.25, $1.50, $1.75 the top. I've never seen a soda in a restaurant for $2, you know. So I feel like it's very expensive, but still you get a refill in America. You're not gonna get any refill in Poland. Some of the places will not take foreign credit cards, so just keep that in mind. It's good to have some cash on you, because there was a few places that I could not use American credit card, and obviously I don't have any Polish credit or debit card, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Another thing that drove us absolutely crazy, it was the fact that if you do pay cash, they ask you for the change. So let's say your whatever you're buying costs, let's say $7.95, so the lady will always ask you, do you have 95? If something costs, let's say $14.22, she will ask you, do you have 22? Or maybe do you have 4.22? And every single time, on every single occasion when I use the cash, and most of the time we do use the cash, it was just like, do you have 22? Do you have 30? Do you have this? Oh my god, seriously? And of course, if you don't speak English, how are you gonna even understand that she wants a 4.22 from you or something? I mean, me and my husband, we're just laughing every single time. We're just, me after 3 weeks, I was like, do you want a 4.22 or do you want a 22 or whatever the, you know, before they even ask. It's unbelievable. Just give me the change. The other things that that's probably a good thing, because they are trying to go green and do not give you a plastic bags at the store. So just remember to carry some kind of a bags with you, because if you want a bag, you'll have to pay for it. It's not a big money, but they charge you every single time you want to use a plastic bag, or so you have to just kind of bring your own. So you have to just kind of remember to have it on you. And to be honest with you, it took me 3 weeks to finally get into habit of putting one plastic bag in my backpack, you know. So I have something just in case we buy something. I'll have, you know, a plastic bag to put on, because yeah, it's just something that we're not used to it in here, because we get all those, you know, you go to Kroger and everything is just packed, either plastic or you know, paper, whatever you want. But in Poland, like, you have to pay for the bag. Going back to having a car, in America you always pay for the gas in the, you know, this machine that pumps the gas, right? You just put your credit card and that's how you pay. But in Poland, you pump the gas and then you have to go inside the gas station and you have to pay for it. Many times you have to wait in line, which is so annoying, to pay for your gas. You just have to remember like the number of your, you know, the machine that you're using, and then you go and you pay for it. So that's just another thing to know. Stores are generally closed on the weekends, so don't expect to go and do any big shopping on the weekends. I think they have right now only one Saturday that the stores will be open, and then eventually I think they are trying to have always closed on Saturday, and nothing is open on Sundays, so you're not gonna buy anything on Sundays. There is some small stores like a, you know, private stores, they call them like żabkas, which means a frog. They are open, but usually the owners are working because they cannot legally hire anybody to work on the weekend. So they have this like policy that basically you cannot go to the mall. Let's put it this way. If you're trying to do some fun shopping for the weekend, you're not gonna do it unless it's the working Saturday or working Sunday. And yeah, which just happens only like once a month for now. Lots of people are still smoking in Poland, which is not good. You guys should quit. So yeah, don't be surprised if you're exposed to the, you know, what is called the secondhand smoke. Yeah, my kids were very, very annoyed because they hate, you know, the smell of the cigarettes, and they're not exposed to the smell of the cigarettes. So obviously even they were shocked, you know, by how many people are just like walking on the street and just having a smoke. Or when we were eating outside, you know, in the restaurants, the people would be sitting next to you and smoking, and it's just no good, because, you know, I'm sitting here with the children, we're trying to have a good time and eat outside because it's a nice weather, and you know, the table next to us is smoking. There should be some rules, you know, where you can smoke and where you shouldn't. So this was kind of an annoying. I noticed, you know, I asked my brother, asked my sister, my father, you know, like, do you leave the tips, you know, and I've got an impression that the tips are nice but not necessary. I feel like in America you just have to leave the at least 20%, 15-20%, but I feel like in Poland is like people don't really do that often. At least I noticed this way. So I was a little bit confused, you know, we always left a tip, but I feel like it's nice to do it, but it's not necessary. I know, like in France, for example, you're not supposed to leave any tips. The servers get the payment. So I think it depends on the country that you go to. Everybody's slightly different. So I feel like if you can, leave the tip, but you don't have to feel like 100% obligated to do it. And the last thing I want to mention, you guys, is that if you do use a public transportation, and don't be surprised when you're gonna have some kind of a random ticket check. So even if you use like a subway in Warsaw, there could be a man or woman approaching you and asking you for the ticket, and you have to show them your ticket. So don't be alarmed by that. This is just something that randomly can happen. So make sure you buy your tickets and you pay for your ticket. The way we did, because the last week we were just in Warsaw and we returned a rental car, so basically I purchased like a 3-day ticket. So for me, my kids got a discount because they are under 16 years of age, so they get a 50% off on the public transportation. You just have to have some kind of a document to prove their age in case someone asked. Yeah, so basically that's what I did. I bought a couple of those 3-day tickets, and then we bought like a weekend tickets, and then we're good to go. Alright guys, so this is pretty much it. I hope you find this video interesting and helpful. Like I said, you know, since my mom passed away, which has been 11 years, you guys, I didn't feel like going to Poland that often because I used to go twice a year before that. But then since she died, I really did not feel like going. So there was even, I think, a period of 5 years that I did not go at all. But then after that, you know, I would just only travel for like 1 week. You know, so I felt like very much disattached. So the fact that now we spent over a month in there, it was really like, I'm gonna say, a reality check. A lot of things change, and a lot of good things change in Poland, you know, and there's still a lot of those little things that does bother me, and there is much more, I'm sure, but those are like the main things that I wanted to highlight. And you know, it's a beautiful country. If you can, if you ever get a chance, you should go and visit. People are so sweet. They are so nice, and generally for us, like coming from, let's say, US, it's not an expensive country, but you know, like I said, if you like rent a car, you know, it can adds up a little bit, and of course the price of the gas is just mind-blowing, so just keep that in mind. And but you know, generally paying for the restaurant food, it's not gonna be that, you know, expensive. But again, people are so nice generally, and there's more and more people speaking English, especially younger people, so they're helpful, you know. You can ask, you know, around, and they are very helpful. So yeah, I will highly recommend to visit Poland. And Poland is one of the, you know, bigger countries in Europe. It's located right in the center, so yeah. And if you haven't visited, and if you haven't seen my vlogs from Poland, I got 3 videos. You can go ahead and check. I'm gonna try to link it down below or above here somewhere, so you can go ahead and check it out. And in the meantime, make sure you subscribe, click on the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!